A reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 9. The Lord spoke to Moses in the Sinai desert in the first month of the second year after the people of Israel had left Egypt. He said, "On the 14th day of this month, beginning at sunset, the people of Israel are to observe the Passover according to all the rules and regulations for it." So Moses told the people to observe the Passover, and on the evening of the 14th day of the first month, they did so in the Sinai desert. The people did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. But there were some people who were ritually unclean because they had touched a corpse, and they were not able to keep the Passover on that day. They went to Moses and Aaron and said, "We are unclean because we have touched a corpse. But why should we be excluded from presenting the Lord's offering with the rest of the Israelites?" Moses answered, "Wait until I receive instructions from the Lord." The Lord told Moses to say to the people of Israel, "When any of you or your descendants are unclean from touching a corpse, or are far away on a journey, but still want to keep the Passover, you are permitted to observe it 1 month later instead, on the evening of the 14th day of the second month. Celebrate it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. Do not leave any of the food until the following morning, and do not break any of the animal's bones. Observe the Passover according to all the regulations. But if any of you are ritually clean and not away on a journey and do not observe the Passover, you shall no longer be considered my people, because you did not present the offering to me at the appointed time. You must suffer the consequences of your sin. If foreigners living among you want to keep the Passover, they must observe it according to all the rules and regulations. The same law applies to everyone, whether native or foreigner. On the day the tent of the Lord's presence was set up, a cloud came and covered it. At night, the cloud looked like fire. Whenever the cloud lifted, the people of Israel broke camp, and they set up camp again in the place where the cloud came down. The people broke camp at the command of the Lord, and at his command they set up camp. As long as the cloud stayed over the tent, they stayed in the same camp. When the cloud stayed over the tent for a long time, they obeyed the Lord and did not move on. Sometimes the cloud remained over the tent for only a few days. In any case, they remained in camp or moved according to the command of the Lord. Sometimes the cloud remained only from evening until morning, and they moved on as soon as the cloud lifted. Whenever the cloud lifted, they moved on. Whether it was 2 days, a month, a year, or longer, as long as the cloud remained over the tent, they did not move on. But when it lifted, they moved. They set up camp and broke camp in obedience to the commands which the Lord gave through Moses. The word of the Lord. A reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 10. The Lord said to Moses, "Make 2 trumpets of hammered silver to use for calling the people together and for breaking camp. When long blasts are sounded on both trumpets, the whole community is to gather around you at the entrance to the tent of my presence. But when only 1 trumpet is sounded, then only the leaders of the clans are to gather around you. When short blasts are sounded, the tribes camped on the east will move out. When short blasts are sounded a second time, the tribes on the south will move out. So, short blasts are to be sounded to break camp. But in order to call the community together, long blasts are to be sounded. The trumpets are to be blown by Aaron's sons, the priests. The following rule is to be observed for all time to come. When you are at war in your land, defending yourselves against an enemy who has attacked you, sound the signal for battle on these trumpets. I, the Lord your God, will help you and save you from your enemies. Also on joyful occasions, at your new moon festivals and your other religious festivals, you are to blow the trumpets when you present your burnt offerings and your fellowship offerings. Then I will help you. I am the Lord your God. On the 20th day of the second month in the second year after the people left Egypt, the cloud over the tent of the Lord's presence lifted, and the Israelites started on their journey out of the Sinai desert. The cloud came to rest in the wilderness of Paran. They began to march at the command of the Lord through Moses, and each time they moved, they were in the same order. Those under the banner of the division led by the tribe of Judah started out first, company by company, with Nahshon, son of Amminadab, in command. Nethanel, son of Zoar, was in command of the tribe of Issachar, and Eliab, son of Helon, was in command of the tribe of Zebulun. Then the tent would be taken down, and the clans of the Gershon and Merari who carried it would start out. Next, those under the banner of the division led by the tribe of Reuben would start out, company by company, with Eleazar, son of Shedeur, in command. Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, was in command of the tribe of Simeon, and Eliasaph, son of Deuel, was in command of the tribe of Gad. Then the Levite clan of Kohath would start out, carrying the sacred objects. By the time they arrived at the next camp, the tent had been set up again. Next, those under the banner of the division led by the tribe of Ephraim would start out, company by company, with Elishama, son of Ammihud, in command. Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, was in command of the tribe of Manasseh, and Abidan, son of Gideoni, was in command of the tribe of Benjamin. Finally, those under the banner of the division led by the tribe of Dan, serving as the rear guard of all the divisions, would start out, company by company, with Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, in command. Pagiel, son of Ochran, was in command of the tribe of Asher, and Ahira, son of Enan, was in command of the tribe of Naphtali. This, then, was the order of march, company by company, whenever the Israelites broke camp and set out. Moses said to his brother-in-law Hobab, son of Jethro the Midianite, "We are about to start out for the place which the Lord said he would give us. He has promised to make Israel prosperous, so come with us, and we will share our prosperity with you." Hobab answered, "No, I am going back to my native land." "Please don't leave us," Moses said. "You know where we can camp in the wilderness, and you can be our guide. If you come with us, we will share with you all the blessings that the Lord gives us." When the people left Sinai, the holy mountain, they traveled 3 days. The Lord's covenant box always went ahead of them to find a place for them to camp. As they moved on from each camp, the cloud of the Lord was over them by day. Whenever the covenant box started out, Moses would say, "Arise, Lord, scatter your enemies and put to flight those who hate you." And whenever it stopped, he would say, "Return, Lord, to the thousands of families of Israel." The word of the Lord.